触れてみたい秘密と壊してみたい夜の中で間違いだらけの遊びしようよ
Hello everyone, I'm making a game with these core principles. Practice means you get better at dancing the actual routine, not just scoring points. This means that playing for points and playing for style should be the same thing. You can dance to anything, and you don't need a VR setup. Now, enter Amazing Dance Star. What I have so far? You can add and remove a link from YouTube. You can scan the YouTube video in real time for pose estimation. There is also a video quality selector, a camera selector, and finally, you can dance to the video and get your score in the upper right. Now, how to use Amazing Dance Star? You add a link, click on a video, press dance, press play, and get your score. How it works. One tool I'm using is OpenCV. OpenCV stands for Open Computer Vision. OpenCV lets you do common computer vision techniques on images, such as composition, background subtraction, filtering, etc. As a quick reminder, a video is just a sequence of still images displayed to a viewer to give the illusion of movement. Each still image in a video is called a frame. In Python, this frame is usually saved as a numpy array, and each pixel is stored in the RGBA format. This stands for red, green, blue, and alpha channel. There is a conversion you have to do because OpenCV is in a BGRA format, which is blue, green, red, alpha, but the conversion is not an issue. In this, you convert each element that is indexed as 0, 1, 2, 3, and then rearrange them into 2, 1, 0, 3, as well as copying that array. Since 0, 1, 2, 3 is RGBA, then 2, 1, 0, 3 should be BGRA. So that is how you convert frames from the RGBA standard to BGRA and feed them to OpenCV. I'm also using OpenCV to read frames of a YouTube video and display them to the user. MediaPipe also uses OpenCV as well to read and write frames of a video, as OpenCV is a dependency of MediaPipe. Now that we can manipulate the individual frames of a video using OpenCV, how do we get the pose estimation? Most of the heavy lifting is done by MediaPipe, Google's machine learning solution. With MediaPipe, it is possible to produce an accurate pose estimation with only a camera. This is where MediaPipe plays its role, and we simply pass the frame to MediaPipe and read the output data. However, there is a catch. MediaPipe is currently not fast enough to do frame analysis in real time. Here is an example of this lag. You can already see that MediaPipe is starting to lag compared to the original video. So, how do we deal with this? We don't really need to compare everything frame by frame. What we can do instead is check the source video and the test video every second, then start to grade the two poses and return that score to the user. This should be good enough as a starting point. If MediaPipe gets faster, I can use a faster version, or if people really want to do a frame-by-frame analysis, I can increase polling from one pose check every second to one pose check every frame at the behest of the user and at the cost of using more processing power. Now, why is this possible? Enter multiprocessing. Another tool I'm also using is multiprocessing. This module allows you to run copies of a program that is controlled by a main program. Since MediaPipe is so intensive, it slows down the app. Instead of using the main program to analyze frames with MediaPipe during runtime, you can just shove the frame data that you collect in real time and pass that to the subprocess. The process then analyzes the data using MediaPipe and then gives an answer at a later time. However, there are many issues when working with multiprocessing. One issue is that there are silent errors. This means that if your subprocess fails, it won't crash the main program and return an error because, well, the main program didn't crash, it was the subprocess. This is one way that multiprocessing makes it a lot harder to track down errors. Another issue that is hard to track down is the dreaded memory leak. So not only do I have to track down memory leaks in the main program, but also in the subprocess where I'm using MediaPipe, that is for all intents and purposes, is basically a neural network black box. There was one instance where memory was leaking so bad that the app would take up to 20 gigabytes of memory. The fix was adding a with loop to the MediaPipe code. Don't ask me why that works, but one guess is that the with loop is always presented in the MediaPipe tutorials I see lying around online. My guess is that somehow MediaPipe is coded to close and delete extra memory when the with loop ends. Other than that, at least I'm not leaking 20 gigabytes of memory anymore. So now that we can manipulate videos, manipulate a YouTube video in real time, and get the pose estimation for 2 videos using multiprocessing, how do you compare 2 poses? Unlike numbers, which have an easy way of comparing, poses can come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Luckily, MediaPipe already labels body parts on the pose graph. Now we need to answer the question, how could you tell if 2 poses are the same? The idea is that if your pose is the same as the source's video pose, then you should be rewarded with more points. One way you could do it is by comparing the same angles between 2 poses. For example, the right leg angle will be compared between the source video, which is the YouTube link, and the test video, that's you. If your angle is larger or smaller than the source video by 10 degrees, that means that your limbs are straying away from the source dance and you'll score less points. Now, what are the pros of this approach? You just need a webcam. These are usually equipped by default on laptops. Other programs like Just Dance need controllers. Beat Saber even needs an entire VR setup to work. Since MediaPipe can produce a pose using only a single angle and a single frame of data, I can skip having to use a controller or a VR setup because all I need to do is read the camera stream and produce pose estimations. Another benefit is that you can play to any YouTube link, even shorts. This means that you can practice someone's posted choreography, you can play to any dance cover, and you can also play to any 3D animations such as MMDs. This is also free. All I'm asking for is for people to join Patreon and Discord so that I know that there is an interest in development. It's also ridiculously fast for what it does, which is neural network analysis at the palm of your hand in real time. One flaw is that the video needs to be in one perspective only. This is because the same pose looks different when looked at in different angles. To keep things fair for now, only videos facing the dancer head-on should be used. Here are the things I can do in the future with your help and support. I have an idea about practice mode where I overlay the source pose onto your video stream. Then I can also slow the dance routine down and then you can practice. It would also be fun to have a multiplayer versus mode. You could have a code like in Jackbox to join your friends. I think with some linear algebra and 2 cameras, I can do crazy things like camera only VR. So you could have a 2-camera setup and you can move a 3D avatar in something like Unity or Godot. Another feature I would like to add is multi-person camera tracking for dance group music videos. One huge market for this would be K-pop dance routines. Now, why me? I can do this. I already have a good technical demo. I just need to decide on the art direction, music, player feedback, and UI. I also focus a lot on customization and accessibility. For example, I made a translation file for people to use. People speaking different languages could make fan translations so no one is left out. You could also change the algorithm to your liking to ask for frame perfect grading or to simply have fun in a free range dance mode. Your support would go to things like development and art, mobile Android iOS versions, and commissioning artists to make dance routines for requested songs. Thank you for your time. If you'd like to try it out for yourself, the itch link is in the description below. And if you would like to support development, the link to my Patreon and Discord is down below.